What does it take to be the best army in the world? Cutting edge tech, fierce training, a track record of victories. Today we're diving into the force that claims the title, the US Army, and asking the big question, is it really the greatest? The United States Army is the largest and most powerful branch of the US military, boasting over 480,000 active duty soldiers and an arsenal that dwarfs most nations' entire defence budgets. But power alone isn't the full picture. We'll explore its global reputation, combat effectiveness, and some surprise weaknesses you might not expect. Stick around as we break down the history, technology, and strategies that either prove or disprove the US Army's claim to the throne. Welcome back to the war. Let's start with the numbers. The US Army operates with a defense budget of over $180 billion, more than the GDP of some countries. Its global presence spans 800 bases in over 70 nations. No other military force even comes close. But here's something that often gets overlooked. The Army is also deeply integrated into disaster response worldwide. Whether it's earthquake relief in Haiti or flood recovery in Pakistan, the US Army's reach extends far beyond combat. And yet, being the biggest doesn't always mean being the best. In fact, some argue that such scale makes the Army too reliant on expensive logistics and technology. Are size and resources enough to maintain dominance? Coming up, we'll look at an area where the US Army struggles against smaller, more agile forces. The US Army prides itself on rigorous training programs like Ranger School and Airborne School, which produce some of the toughest soldiers in the world. These aren't just soldiers, they're elite warriors capable of adapting to any battlefield. Here's another incredible fact. The Army invests in building mental toughness through programs like the Comprehensive Soldier Fitness Initiative, which combines physical training with psychological resilience. However, training alone doesn't solve everything. Studies have shown that morale can dip, especially during long deployments. The wars in Iraq and Afghanistan tested not just the Army's physical strength, but its mental endurance. And yet, time and again, US soldiers have proven their ability to rise to the occasion. The question is, can morale keep pace with the demands of the 21st century battlefield? Next, we'll dive into the tech that gives the US Army a futuristic edge and why it's not as invincible as it seems. From the M1 Abrams tank to the Patriot missile defense system, the US Army wields some of the most advanced military technology ever created. They're even developing autonomous drones and robotic soldiers. It sounds like science fiction, but it's real. Here's another interesting detail. The Army has invested heavily in space-based systems, like satellites that provide instant battlefield communication and precise GPS guidance, giving it an unmatched level of situational awareness. However, this tech reliance comes with a downside. Advanced systems are expensive to maintain and often vulnerable to cyber attacks. Recent exercises have shown that even the best equipment can fail if the enemy knows how to exploit its weaknesses. So does cutting edge technology make the US Army the best, or does it leave it open to unexpected vulnerabilities? Stick around, because next we'll compare how the US Army stacks up against other global powerhouses like China and Russia. When it comes to rivals, China and Russia are the most obvious contenders. China's military has seen explosive growth in recent years, with a focus on high-tech weapons and massive troop numbers. Meanwhile, Russia's strategy relies on asymmetrical warfare, using unconventional tactics to outmaneuver larger forces. And there's another player worth mentioning, NATO allies. The US Army's partnership with NATO allows it to leverage the combined strength of 30 allied nations. This collective power gives the US a unique advantage that neither China nor Russia can replicate. Despite these challenges, the US Army remains a step ahead in most areas. But with global tensions rising, the real question is whether the Army can maintain its edge. After all, it's not just about winning battles, it's about preventing wars. Coming up, we'll reveal the surprising truth about what really defines the greatest army. Is it the budget, the training, the technology, or is it something deeper, like the ability to inspire allies and intimidate adversaries? History shows us that the greatest armies aren't just the strongest, they're the ones that adapt to change and win hearts and minds. Here's something to consider. The US Army invests in humanitarian missions and global aid more than almost any other military. These efforts build alliances and spread American influence far beyond the battlefield. The US Army has faced criticism from its handling of certain conflicts, which recruitment challenges, but despite its flaws, it remains a symbol of resilience and innovation. So is the US Army the greatest in the world? It's a complex question with no easy answer. But one thing is clear, whether you admire it, fear it, or criticize it, the US Army stands as a testament to the incredible and sometimes controversial power of modern warfare. The debate rages on. Hi soldiers, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to check back in again soon. That's an order.